Hello! Hello and welcome to the Comboless podcast. Yes, we are finally introducing this podcast. We have a name for this podcast. Holy shit. Was it hard to find a name? But we've got a name, and it's Comboless.
I think it's a pretty good name.
The Comboless podcast. Yeah. It's alright, I think. So now we are episode 2.
Yes, but I think we should introduce ourselves as well this time.
I mean, yes, that's fair. Go ahead.
I'm Luke.
Hello, Luke. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. Who the fuck are you?
I am Chris. So it's Chris and Luke. Luke and Chris for the Comboless podcast.
Sounds good to me. We'll just add some applause in later. Don't you worry. We'll
literally edit it in.
Popularity in no time.
Yeah. Have you got anything to talk about this week?
Well, I think you should start.
Wow, you've literally got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I have been playing a new game, but I'm not that far into it really. I don't want to throw any comments or anything out there just in case I give it a bad rap.
What is it?
Scarlet Nexus. I think I told you about it before.
You did tell me about it. I don't know anything about this game though.
And other than it being, I guess, an anime style game, I'm a bit.
Is it literally just like? Is it action focused?
It's hack and slash. Yeah,
it's hack and slash.
It's not a. Well, it's a JRPG, but it's not a take-turn JRPG, which I don't know that really changes the area it comes under, but it seems alright so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for a game with a good story, aren't you?
Is it very story focused then? It's like proper.
I don't know many JRPGs that aren't
story
focused.
That's very fair. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I don't get along with a lot of them, because they're just like the most lame ass story that I just don't care about. And it's like people, and then it's emotions, and then I'm just like, I just don't care.
For someone who enjoys reading books, that was very, very negative towards stories. Weirdly, I don't like emotions and people.
All right, that's fair. I'll take a step back. I was a bit mean to JRPGs. Instantly hated by like every fan of JRPG.
Considering you are playing one, or you have recently.
That's what I mean. I play a few of them, but when like they're the sort of casual JRPG, I would say, if that makes sense. Like I'm playing Final Fantasies, or I'm playing. I can't even think of another one.
It wasn't Final Fantasy I was thinking of that you've played recently.
Persona.
Persona, yeah.
Persona I'm very much on the edge for. I loaded it up, I played it, I started enjoying it, but I haven't gone back to it. And that's what my experience with most JRPGs are.
I think that's more than just JRPGs. But
that's very true.
You because you're very into your indie games, you're very quick to switch from one to another, I think.
Yeah.
A notorious
I was listening
flaw.
back. I was listening back to the last episodes to see what it sounded like, and we started this half Tekken podcast, and literally episode 1, I'm like, I haven't been playing much Tekken. I've been playing this other game though, Monster Hunter, and it's kind of the same again this week for me. I've put Monster Hunter down, and I picked up Satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
Yeah, have you
okay,
I've
not heard of this one. You're gonna have to elaborate.
No, all right. I'll come back. I'll come back to Satisfactory after you explain your game that you've been playing. Was it Scarlet?
Well, I could, but like I said, I don't have grand details to share at the moment. But I'm keen. Is it going to be a satisfactory amount of detail you're going to give me now?
Well, this is what's amazing to me. Like, Satisfactory is a huge game, and like every person that uses Steam or Epic in any way on a PC would instantly know what this game is. But because you just don't play any PC games like at all, you don't hear about it. Like there's genres that you never even heard of. Like, have you heard of Factorio?
Weirdly, I think you've told me about that one before. Yeah,
it's very similar in vein to Factorio, Satisfactory, whereas essentially you get plopped on a planet and you have to create a factory which automates the collection of resources and then the creation of items with those resources. So it's all about putting down like a miner on the iron ore and then that goes to like a refinery, and the refinery like spits out iron bars, and then you take those iron bars and you process other bits and pieces, and it's literally all about trying to perfect the automation process of that entire thing.
See, to me, what that sounded like was a bit like an RTS.
Really? How?
Well, think of it this way. Okay, so in games, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head now. I can't think of what's not Starfield. Starcraft, not Starcraft. Yes,
Starcraft is the
So you start with a base, and the first thing you do, you've got to mine some form of ore or some material, and then that's kind of where I've taken that. And then as you progress later into the sort of the match, I'd say it's not really much of a story game, is it?
No.
As you progress, you then start using it to make other materials, and then your inventory or what you can create expands completely.
Okay.
So it's
this
just
this is where you're completely missing what the genre of this game is.
You never let me finish my sentence. So how about I finish?
Okay.
So it's that process, just really like delved into minute detail. That's from what you've told me. That's what I'm taking away.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally just scratching the very top of what this game is.
That's why I said minute detail.
Yeah, so it's a first person, so Satisfactory exclusively I'm talking about now. It's a first person game where it's in Unreal Engine. You walk about and you place these factory type items like a refinery or like a constructor machine that constructs a certain item, and it's literally all about that. My miner gives me a certain amount of resources per second, and then I have to get those resources to the machine that refines them in the most efficient way possible. So it's about placing down a building and then working out the web that is your conveyor belts, trying to get it to another machine that's in somewhere else. And then all these machines build up, and you build this entire factory, and you have resources going from one thing, which converts into another thing, gets built, and then that goes off to another thing. But these items in these little factories are like, oh, you need 2 iron rods and an iron plate in order to make this one item. So it's like, it's just managing resources at the most insane sort of automation scale ever. Like, the focus is on the automation part. So rather than just like placing things, the focus is on, you get this amount of resource per time and you have to try and get it to this machine in the most efficient way possible without starving your other factories of resources and things like that.
Okay,
so
I was about to ask, what are the consequences of having... So essentially you want to move some form of resource from A to B as quickly as possible, or as efficiently as possible.
So you're thinking essentially about like throughputs and speeds and like the shortest routes and stuff like that.
But what are the consequences if it takes too long to get to one area?
That's the thing about these games. Well, I say these games, I'm talking about Satisfactory at the minute. But Satisfactory doesn't really have any downside to you being a bad factory maker. It's just a matter of like, oh, my screws are taking a very long time to build. How am I going to improve this process in order to get more screws?
So what's the end goal then?
So the end goal, they've just released 1.0. So I've been playing it in early access for the last few years, but they've just released it as a full release now. So I don't know what the true end goal is, but essentially you get plopped on the planet, you start collecting resources, and then you take these resources to a space elevator. You take all these resources in a conveyor belt, they go into the space elevator, and then they shoot off into space, and there's a company which are just like, oh, you need to collect all the resources from this planet, blah blah blah, we're going to expand, blah blah blah, you are a stupid employee and we have tasked you to take the resources of this planet. That's literally all you're given. There's no real like, you have to do this and then you do this. It's just a matter of you trying to figure out how to get certain items, and then you're figuring and building your own factories with your own layouts. So you either think about it long term, and you're like, oh, if I set it out in this way, then I could expand later in the future. Or you just think about the now and build it really quickly and then have all these resources go everywhere, and then 2 hours down the line you're like, oh shit, my screws are really slow, and you have to take down the entire factory and start again.
I'm not sure I'd agree with that kind of game, but I just want to...
It's a very weird type of genre to enjoy, but there's something so, like, it's in the name. It's so satisfying getting, like, the most efficient factory going, because you're like, holy shit, I was building 5 screws per minute last, but now look upon thine factory. And now I am building 2,000 screws per second. And it's like, it's just insane.
I've never known anyone to get so aroused over screws.
Oh my god, it's so satisfying. Honestly, it's genuinely satisfying. It's so good.
I think it's worth mentioning how you describe the company as well. They think that you're just a stupid employee.
You are. You're literally. The intro cinematic, you get dropped into this planet, and then you have this like AI voice talk to you, and it's saying like, it's going through the landing sequence, and it's like, oh, the rockets are like nominal, blah blah blah, everything's great, and then it goes, I can't remember the exact name that they give you, but like they say employee adequate. And it's just about you just being a pleb on a planet, and they just really don't care about you as long as you're bringing in the resources.
I don't know why, and this is probably going to change the subject, but if the intro, the way you describe it reminds me of Abe's Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Do you remember that? Because it's at the very start, isn't it? He's like an employee in a factory.
Yeah. And
I think they're like, oh, we're short on food, I think it is. And they're like,
yeah, it was food. It was the beer, drink, brew thing that we were making, right?
We can eat these guys.
You're right. And
then he's just like trying to escape the whole thing. That the way you describe the intro to this game, for some reason, just screams
like,
to me.
Imagine the company in Satisfactory to be in the same vein of what that company in what was it called again?
Abe's Odyssey. I'm not sure I'd want to work with that company.
No, you definitely wouldn't want to. There would be no reason why you'd want to work for this company. You're clearly just forced into this position. Yeah. But yeah, so you're making this factory, and then there's little bits of like story stuff, so you can explore the world. There's like a huge open world that you can just explore to make your factory in, which is just wild.
It sounds a bit open-ended, so
it's massively open-ended.
That's
like someone me and you could play at the same time, and then you would have something completely different to what I've produced.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And it's great.
It just sounds a bit too. I suppose I like a bit of an end goal, an end game.
Yeah. I mean, there is an end goal. Like, you get to sort of like nuclear power, and you can get nuclear power generators, and then you get like this magic sort of power thing. There is an intertwined story as well. Okay. While you're exploring the world, you find these like weird cores, and it looks like this weird technology that is talking the same way as the person is talking to you. So you're like, oh, this is linked to the company that's plopped me on this planet in the first place. And then there's like a weird intrigue sort of what's going on.
That's something I could get behind.
Yeah. So that is mostly background to you building a factory.
That's there, but ignore that.
Yeah,
factory
ignore that. You need to get your screws building faster, son.
Just want to know as well, I thought you were going to say something along the lines of, I started a factory that only made 5 screws per day or whatever. And then by the end of the podcast, we're like, and now I have nuclear power.
I mean, honestly, you'd watch some people playing this game, and like you think the resource management is insane in your own game.
Yeah.
And there's just resources everywhere, and you're like, oh my god, I'm the god of screws. There's so many screws. And then you look at someone else, and they've literally got like a whirlwind of screws coming down into one factory. It's just insane. But yeah, it's in the same genre. I think Factorio was the first one that did it. Mm-hmm. And I think that was based off of mods that were for Minecraft. So, like the genre came out of that kind of thing. There was a load of mods in Minecraft where people were finding it fun to basically Minecraft, you're collecting resources and blah blah blah, people would find it fun to have factories that would automatically mine and then bring them up on conveyor belts and things like that. So that whole like stemmed into Factorio. And Factorio very much is just a top-down 2D, well, it's 3D technically, but it's a top-down view, and you've got to collect these resources exactly like Satisfactory, except you're on an alien planet and there's weird alien bugs, and they are constantly attacking you. So it's a matter of you have to collect these resources whilst also defending your factory with guns and like making bullets and then trying to expand. And then you have things like the further you expand, the more violent the aliens get and things like that. So there's like constant issues in Factorio. Whereas Satisfactory is a bit more like laid back, and you just get to build a factory.
So I'm going to ask a very dangerous question here now.
Yes.
Factoria.
Yeah.
How many hours did you put into that?
Oh my god, I could find out.
I get the way you describe it, and people won't be able to see this, but I saw the passion in your eyes, the way you just spoke about it.
I've put a few hours in. I've put a few hours in, I will say that. But I don't think it's an insane number. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's absolutely insane. I'm just going to get on my account now. And then, because I know it's one of my top played games. So it's up
it's
there.
In the top 10.
Where can I find my Jesus? No, I don't want to call my account ID. Why can't I find my? There they are. I got it.
Technology is your best friend, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. I've put 120 hours into Factorio.
That's
which isn't insane. There's a lot of hours me just fucking automating things, but that's not insane.
I mean, it's 5
in
days.
Comparison,
it's 5
Tekken 8,
days.
Tekken 8, I've put 261 hours in.
That's a few more days.
Yeah, so 261 hours in Tekken 8. I've got 120 hours in Factorio, and then Satisfactory is coming up on 100 hours now.
So I guess to top this off, since we're on your top 10 most played,
yeah.
What is the most played game? I guess you have. You've got
okay,
records of it.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, that's the nice thing about having an account that stems back since. Oh my god, it's over 17 years, this account.
You didn't have to say that out loud, but now everyone can kind of guess how old you are.
So 17 years is how old my account is. My most played game is an unfortunate game, because it's not technically my most played game, it's our most played game.
Oh, I think I know what it is then.
Yeah, it's 426.5 hours in Rocket League.
Now we need to do some explaining here. I think.
I guess we do.
Fans.
Yeah, we're not huge fans of Rocket League, but you're probably wondering why there's so many hours in Rocket League. We used to just play drinking games with Rocket League.
Rocket League is a weirdly good game.
Rocket League is genuinely a fantastic drinking game. We came up with a load of rules for a lot of games, to be fair, but Rocket League was the go-to to get us drunk quite quick.
They have the standard rules, didn't you? I think if you score or let a goal in, that was a drink. If you stole a goal from someone, that was...
No, yeah, that's where they started getting more advanced. What I should do, I'll bring over the little booklet of rules that we have
I forgot
for the next episode. I'll try and remember that.
I think we should end that topic there, because we've got a few other games in that book.
There are. There's a lot of drinking games that we came up with, and they were fun. They were really good. We could publish them somewhere if you wanted, but yeah. So Rocket League's the highest one at 626 hours. The next game, I'm gonna push it over to you. What do you believe my most played game is?
You've got such a variety, and I think with you as well, you have a habit of starting a game and then moving on to another game.
Yeah.
But a game that I think that won't be on that list, which I think, I don't think it's on that list, is going to be Skyrim.
Skyrim? Why are you thinking about Skyrim?
Because there aren't many people that own all of the Elder Scroll games in a fancy
Dude, no,
box.
yes, there are. There's a lot of people.
I've never seen anyone else with that box.
Don't even go there. I know where you're going. You're trying to aim this conversation into how many times I've bought Skyrim.
I wasn't, but that's a good question.
Okay, well, I'm just throwing myself in for that then. I'm not going to go there.
I generally think you bought it a few times, so
yes.
It might not be on that list, but it should be in the top 10, I reckon.
It's not in the top 10.
No.
No, definitely not. I'm not a big Skyrim fan.
That just begs the question of why you bought it so many times then.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger...
I was young and
younger. It was a matter of me going through multiple consoles quite quickly because of life situations or whatever. But so yeah, but Skyrim, I can say I put 45 hours into Skyrim, but that's just on Steam.
But
so that 45 hours would have been from after I completed Skyrim maybe twice or three times already.
You've completed more times than I have.
Yeah, I did play Skyrim quite a bit, but those 45 hours. Oh, then again, does that count the new edition that they released on Steam? I don't know. They re-released it where they upgraded it or whatever, and I don't know if that counts.
I'm not sure that's a fair thing to say. Didn't they just take a load of mods that other people developed and installed them into the game? Essentially,
no, I don't think they went that far, did they? They definitely brought in the whole modding market thing, which everyone universally hates. But I don't think they were that bad with it.
Your second most played game. Give me a hint. It's not Tekken 8, is it?
No, that's my third.
Oh, I can't believe!
Isn't that crazy?
That you've had Steam 17 years.
I've had
Tekken 8
exactly
is your third most
17 years, and Tekken 8 is my third most played game.
Right, tell me a genre.
That tells you how much of an addiction I had. On Tekken.
I can't.
And that's why I started a podcast.
What that doesn't include is the hours you put into Tekken 7 as well. But
Tekken 7, it definitely
it'd be a lot less.
It was a lot less, yeah. Oh, there it is. Tekken 7, I put 39 hours into.
That's still more than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a number 2 though. Give me a genre. What is it? What's it classed as?
It's an RPG.
An RPG?
Yeah.
Is it made by a Japanese company?
Yes.
Okay. It just stems back to when you abused JRPGs earlier. I just want to throw
but again, JRPG is just one of those weird genres where it's Japanese RPG, but it is an RPG from Japan, but you wouldn't call it JRPG.
It's not a JRPG. I know the series, and I think I know which one it is. Is it Dark Souls 3?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Dark Souls 3 is my second most played game at 320 hours.
How can you put 320 hours into Dark Souls 3?
A lot of PvP.
That's too much PvP.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It was a good one, Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've enjoyed all of them, and I know
Dark Souls 3 is definitely my favourite. I put some, you can see, I put loads of hours into it. I think if my next one in that series is Dark Souls 2, and that's probably because of us playing.
We'll discuss that next weekend.
Playing drunk Souls. So Dark Souls 2, I put 81 hours in.
Really?
Yeah.
And we never finished it.
Yeah, I know.
Makes you wonder what we were doing for 81
Well, no,
hours.
yeah, we didn't finish it, did we? I definitely finished it.
Well, is that under the same...
We were so close. I remember us being I can't remember the
I know where we got to.
But we're in the area where the final boss is.
Yeah. No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're in that lake thing. The ones that just constantly shoot fucking magic arrows at you from everywhere. And I think the worst bit is, we thought, being drunk at the time, we were like, let's do it as a... What's the worst clashing genre as? A useless bastard. So everything kills you.
Yeah. It is a hard game.
I see.
I do kind of like it, but it's definitely not as good as the other ones.
They changed... They changed a couple of the things. The
iframe
ratio changed, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think there's any iframes in Dark Souls 2. I could be wrong on that. That's not one of my...
I think there are. I just think it's
I don't think there are.
Because
that's the reason... That's one of the reasons why you were playing a lot better than me, I think.
Because of the rotating technique.
Because I was so used to Dark Souls 3 and the iframes that you get in that when I went to Dark Souls 2, you barely get, or you don't get any iframes. And you were doing another technique of just running around them rather than like dodging through their exact attacks.
That circling technique is masterful in that game.
Yeah, definitely. Dark Souls 1 is fairly close behind that, 69 hours.
I played Dark Souls 1 twice. So I own Dark Souls 1, but got bored. Not bored. It stressed me out. That's when I first played it. And I can't remember how young I was when I played it. Does that tell you when it came out originally? Or because there's a remastered edition?
Well, no, this is like Prepare to Die edition.
So. Yeah, so that's quite a... I say...
There's quite a bit after.
Yeah, it's a few years after. Because I know I had Demon Souls as well.
Yeah, I had Demon Souls. I had Demon Souls before it came into the UK. I had the Chinese version.
I know you did.
Yeah. I was just searching the internet for something, and then I saw the cover of Demon Souls, and I was like, oh, that looks sick. I've never heard of this game in my life. I clicked on it, and then I was looking at images of it, and I was like, this looks like the greatest game ever, and I've never heard of it. There's no trailers, there's no videos, no one's talking about this game. I'm like, what the hell is this game? Am I about to be scammed? But I bought it, and it came, and I was like, I just started playing it, and obviously Demon Souls, so different in difficulty compared to other games that were coming out.
Yes.
It was like, it was insane playing it. It was just like, what the hell is this game? This game is so difficult. And then you die, and then the game gets harder. I'm like, what?
So I did a weirdly similar thing. I remember going into a shop, and they used to have all these massive pre-owned sections, didn't they? And I've seen Demon Souls, and it was like the special edition, and it was quite a fair price. And I was like, that looks pretty cool. And then
you saw the pictures, and you're like, this looks sick.
Oh my god, a demon hunter? Wow, that looks so cool. And then the problem with that game is they made the demons actually strong. They can actually kill you really easily.
And, so I didn't get very far in Demon Souls.
So I never finished the original, but I finished the remake.
On PS5?
Yes.
I was about to say, I haven't finished Demon Souls like at all. I was going to pick it up for PS5 and play it, but I think you're aware I barely ever load up my PlayStation. So, while I would like to play it, I just haven't got around to it.
I can't really comment if there's much difference other than the graphics, but it seems, from what I remember, quite a faithful remake.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it. I can't remember, was it Blue something, the devs? I
can't remember, but I know the community died pretty quickly, unfortunately, because I'm pretty sure it was like a game that was released with the PS5, like at the very start, wasn't it?
Yeah, and barely anyone could get a PlayStation
COVID
at the
happened,
time.
and no one could get a PlayStation, so it died a death pretty quickly.
Yeah, which is pretty sad. Because that was literally the only game you'd get a PlayStation 4 at the time too. There was nothing out.
Yeah. But following on then, I suppose after that it brings us to the Bloodborne series. No, the Bloodborne series would have been...
Bloodborne's just PlayStation. I never played it fully. And
I'm
every time
surprised.
I go to play it, because I'm a huge Lovecraft fan, and I'm a huge Souls fan.
You'd really like it.
So I should really love Bloodborne. But every time I play it, I'm like, this is just the most painful thing to play because it's running at like 20 FPS.
It's
so like glitchy and like everything's flicking all over the place. I'm constantly my eyes are so not used to this.
Constantly seeing people say, "Oh, we want it on the PC now."
Yeah. A remaster of that would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, every time it's like, when, and I don't think it's going to happen.
It should.
Really
it
such
should.
A shame.
I don't understand why Sony is like, I don't know. Is it Sony holding back on it? Because I know, what's his name?
The developer.
The developer from Soft had basically said, "Yeah, we would love to make it again." Or the director said that he would love to make it again. It's one of his favourite in the series. It's not him that's holding it back. So he hasn't, I don't think he said directly who it is, but I'm assuming it's Sony.
Well, I don't know. It's most likely something to do with Sony if it's not them. But I always see as well, people have come up with like designs and artwork for Bloodborne 2. And I'm like, it's such a dream, but I don't know what's going on with it.
I really hope that they release it for PC at some point, because I would love to play through it properly.
See, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, everyone that has played through it said that it's like one of their favourite ones, and I'm like, I love the idea of it,
it's just
but I just can't play it. It's
just so much faster, isn't it? That's the problem.
It's a lot
with the frame
faster
rate.
with a shit frame rate,
and
it's just painful for me. But yeah, anyway.
And then I suppose that takes us on to Sekiro, which I never finished.
Sekiro, I never finished. That was very fast. That was very, very fast.
Very hard, I found it as well.
And very hard. I never finished that one either. And then Elden Ring, obviously, as well. I put 129 hours into Elden Ring.
Really?
Yeah.
And
that's still my one playthrough. Isn't that crazy?
It's
right,
too big. It's really too big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a huge game.
Just short of 130 hours into a game, and that's including the DLC now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's including the DLC.
It's too big.
It's huge.
I love, like, it's something I suppose everyone was really excited for, and then you get into it and you're like, it's just so big. Sometimes you get lost and you just don't know what to do next.
It's so large, you just don't know what to do. Whereas that's why I think Dark Souls 3 is still my favourite. It's a more directed approach.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just has those like greater moments to me.
So something that might hurt your feelings is I never finished the DLC of Dark Souls 3.
That does pain me.
I never finished the Ring City. I finished the other one.
I know, and that's what's worse, because the Ring City DLC is so much better than the other DLC. The other DLC is barely anything in comparison.
I really enjoyed the one boss fight. That's all it was, really.
Yeah, pretty much. And the DLC that you've played is the intro to the second DLC, which you haven't played, which is like the grand, incredible DLC.
So I remember
it's so good, and you need to play.
There's a gargoyle fight. There's 2 gargoyles you fight, and I'm pretty sure that's quite close to the start. That's the last sort of memory I have of playing the DLC.
Yeah, so you've literally not even got into the Ring
Didn't scratch the surface, apparently.
That is so sad to me. It genuinely is so good.
One day, maybe I'll go back to it. He says with a smug face.
You should play it.
There's other things out there.
You should really play it. It's really good. It's really, really, very good, and I recommend it highly.
Yeah, so I do enjoy the Dark Souls series. I haven't finished. Well, I haven't got the DLC for Elden Ring, and I haven't finished 3 technically, I guess. But by that standard, I haven't finished 2 either. I never did the DLCs for 2.
Did you finish 2 at all?
I finished 2.
You did
after we did the Drunk Souls escapade. Let's say.
Right, okay, yeah.
And I found it really easy.
It's so broken is the problem. Like, it's all just a scrambled mess compared to the other, like, more filled out or like making sense.
They've all got flaws.
Yeah,
it's just 2 had the most flaws.
Yeah, I think they tried too much with it maybe, and then they had to like sort of pull it back or like remove a load of features.
I always thought the story for 2 was a bit too far-fetched compared to not far-fetched. It was so remote from the first one, and then when they did the third one, the third one was so linked to the first one. Yeah, but they're meant to be all linear technically.
What I did like what they did with Dark Souls 2 is they started removing enemies when you were just farming them.
Yeah,
which they didn't really do continuing, did they?
I don't know. I
don't
can't
think
remember.
They delete stuff in Dark Souls 3. I don't remember anything get deleted. But yeah, they would remove them so that you couldn't farm them. So it would be kind of
leveling
like
up harder.
Yeah, leveling up would be harder, I guess, and that just generally made the game harder as well. But
like I was saying, when I played it then sober, I found it quite easy.
The issue with it is it's like you're walking from one area to the next, and you're like, how the hell are these places linked? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Don't you go through a swamp, then you're instantly like in the middle of a volcano?
Yeah, it's all
like...
over the place. It's like, oh, we had these 50 ideas and we put them into this one game.
But then, doesn't 3 have that concept where everything's been drawn in, like absorbed or squished?
Yeah, but it's
like
it's a lot more explained in 3, and it makes a lot more sense when you're going from one area to the other.
It's almost like 2 was a test subject for 3.
Yeah, it does feel like that. Like they released Dark Souls 1, and then they were like, number 2, let's completely like experiment with all of these things that we've come up with. And then they ended up, unfortunately, with a bit of a mess. And I think it did come down to a lot of like rush to dev work towards the end.
So we're back on the age-old topic of they're rushing, publishers are rushing developers to get games out to make money.
So the whole publisher issue again, probably. But I with Elden Ring, I feel like
Miyazaki.
Who published Elden Ring? Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah. And they seem to have just let him get on with it.
Because
they worked on it like forever, and they barely released any sort of teasing for it as well, right?
I mean,
it was a lot better.
There were a few patches after, one of which nerfed the weapon I was using, which was a bit of a piss take.
Oh, really? The issue with that kind of stuff is they're nerfing those weapons because there's a huge focus on the PvP in these Souls games, right?
Yes.
So if something's just stupidly overpowered, then they have to nerf it because everyone's complaining about it when playing online, and unfortunately they're very vocal about it. Whereas you just like going through an RPG and loving how powerful this weapon is, you don't get to experience that because of the people that are playing PvP and want it nerfed, because it just doesn't make sense for it to be that powerful and on a player versus player level.
It's weird, isn't it? So the PvP, okay, it's a thing, and the devs obviously listen to what's being said and try and nerf things or strengthen things in some areas to sort of make it a fairer game. If we flip this to Tekken, why is it that what's the name, Dragunov, is still ridiculously hard to fight constantly? Why haven't they nerfed him yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why do they pick on Double J? It's like,
I don't know. Like the characters have changed up so much in 8, right, compared to what 7 was.
I can't remember.
But you go on about Dragunov. Like Dragunov is insanely fast and insanely powerful. And he's got some crazy moves which always get you on that low and things like that, right? Or that spinning grab that he does as well is just horrendous. And it's been noted pretty much everywhere that he's like way too strong or way too fast. That's why you're seeing all these professional people play as Dragunov.
I think the top 10 of Dragunov.
Like all of them are playing Dragunov. So I'm going to do, I'm going to search top played Tekken 8 characters.
It's going to be Dragunov, and there was
wait a sec while I load it up, and then we'll go see if you can guess.
Oh, okay, we're gonna.
Yeah, so we'll play a little game. Top played Tekken 8 characters.
I'm interested there. I reckon I get the first 2.
So that's early May. Do we have any?
Early May's fine. It's not going to be that much different, considering they haven't nerfed Dragunov. You know, number 1. I'm assuming. Because I always find that I always come across him online. Lore is another one all of a sudden that I see a lot of.
You've seen a lot of Lore,
yeah.
I've not seen a lot of him lately.
Paul.
Yeah.
No, I don't like Paul. I don't like it. It just.
Oh wow! Okay, right. Yeah, I've got the list.
Number 1 is Dragunov.
Yes.
I knew it. Number 2 is going to be Feng, I'm pretty sure.
No.
He
is in top 5 though. Feng is 4th.
There are 2 above him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I should again.
Yeah, I think you'll get the one. The other you'll be surprised with.
I'm no expert, but is King in the top 5?
Absolutely not.
It was worth a shot. My boy is not in there, unfortunately. Brian?
No. He's not in top 5 at all.
I'm just naming ones I see regularly.
Oh, come on. You've got to get this one. He
Hwarang.
No. He is played by like everyone. I see him all the time. He's super aggressive.
He's super aggressive?
Yes.
I feel like I'm going to kick myself when I don't know it now. I'm thinking of all the other...
Okay, so Dragunov top. Yeah. Second, Jin.
Really?
Yes. Jin is like the main character. You're gonna have him in the top 5.
That surprises me.
He's aggressive and fast.
Oh yeah, but I've not come across him as much as the other ones.
I come across him all of the time. All of the time there's a Jin player.
I've even started.
And they always go for like the same combo most of the time.
Punch, kick,
yeah,
kick. Yeah.
And then he goes for that sort of lagged kick, low kick. I don't know.
It's not a kick. It's like a claw, isn't it? When he
not that one. I know what you're on about. Not that one. The one where he does a punch, and then it's a low kick, but
he stops.
It's like a half stop and then kicks again.
Yeah.
So that is just like whenever they do that, I catch that absolutely every single time. If I see that animation, I block it or like I counter instantly.
See, I've learnt his one combo, and it's the same with Kazuya. He's got a very similar one.
Yeah, they just sort of span the same combos. Right?
Yeah, but number 3 then.
Number 3, I'm surprised by.
It's obviously not Kuma. Are we being a bit optimistic by putting Kuma
No,
there?
it's not Kuma.
So that writes off Panda as well.
Last guess. Panda is in the top 5 least played. Number 1, Panda. The least played character of Tekken 8 apparently is Panda.
I know which character I'm learning next. One last guess then. Oh, the pressure is getting to me now. I have a name in mind. Is it a male or female? That's the question.
It is male.
Okay. I thought that would help. It really hasn't for some reason.
No, I don't see why that would help at all.
You see, I want to say Lars, but it's not. I know it's not Lars.
No, Lars isn't in any of these lists here.
And the only other one is Lee for me.
Nope.
Who is it?
Victor.
Yeah.
The face that you just pulled.
Yeah.
The cry, the internal turmoil that you had then, where Victor is the 3rd most played character.
Do you know what? That isn't even the professionals. That's just the shitty noobs spamming the one combo, and it's the worst. It's like the teleport.
A true Victor hater.
I actually ain't no love for that man. He just drives me up the wall. The one thing with him is always that he's got a gun and a sword. And I'm like, this is a fighting game. Why is he using all of these tools to do his job? It's not Soul Calibur. It's Tekken, for God's sake. I really lose my edge with him constantly.
Yeah, I don't really like... I think I've said this before, but I don't really like characters teleporting. It pulls me out of it a bit. I find it a bit hard to react to and stuff.
Your character is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but like... You say that, but I barely use his teleport moves.
Yeah, you barely use them, but the rest of the world do.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So, Dragunov number 1, Jin 2nd, Victor 3rd, Feng is 4th. What do you think 5th is? Female.
Oh, it's gonna be Nina, isn't it? No. I don't know. Put me up my misery.
Azucena.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
I don't see her much weirdly now though, but I used to see her a lot. Everyone figured out that one move where she just dodges everything. So that doesn't shock me that she's there actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, my characters aren't in the top 5. In fact, they're probably in the bottom 5 if anything. Have you still got it up there?
I do.
Where's Reina in that list? Does it tell you?
No, this one only
the top 5.
The top 5 and the least 5.
Well, there we go. I'm in the middle. I'm all right with that. That look you just pulled showed disappointment.
There's a graph, I think. Hang on. See if I can. No, these are just the rank stuff.
Oh, the rank stuff is all
so yes, it's Tekken. Let's go with Tekken King. So this is the distribution of characters at Tekken King rank. So pretty high.
Okay.
Alright. It's got numbers here. So there are 1,324 Tekken King Dragunovs. He is the most played, and he's pretty much close to a 3rd higher than Jin, which is 2nd.
What? That just tells this.
Right?
I don't understand. He's obviously too powerful.
Exactly.
And
He's
the developers
obviously
are just
powerful.
like ignoring it.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate. So every time I see a Dragunov, I'm just like, oh, really, dude? You're just gonna play to whatever is the most powerful character right now, you know? Whereas like a lot of people, I don't know. You should experiment more. King is higher. There's 707 kings at Tekken King than my character, 600 Yoshis.
Well, it's in the name of King, really, isn't it? Tekken King. There's no one else who should be
There's
on that
816 Victor Tekken Kings.
Again, the amount of players that play him doesn't surprise me. There aren't many Kumas out there.
Yeah, what character were you asking about earlier?
Reino's who I asked about earlier. But I only know... I've only seen...
It's 6th. Rain is 6th. That's 751 players.
That really surprises me.
Next is Eddie, which I'm surprised with.
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Does
Again,
he not?
he's like...
I kind of hate fighting him.
I hate fighting Eddie because you just don't know what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
It's too unpredictable.
Yeah, it is a problem.
It's a bit like Victor teleporting. Eddie's just like breakdancing on the floor in front of you, and then a punch just flies out of nowhere, and you just like, something hit me.
But yeah, there's only 179 pandas at Tekken God.
There's only
Tekken King, sorry, Tekken King. Tekken God, there's 46 pandas.
Oof. Is that the
God
next...
of Destruction, which I think is highest, there's 16 pandas.
No, I thought it was Supreme Tekken King, or Tekken God was the highest. I might be wrong there.
No, Tekken God of Destruction is higher, I think.
Oh well, I'm not gonna
we could literally search now to
I'm going to search it up.
Tekken ranks. See, this is how little we know about Tekken, and we're doing a fucking Tekken podcast, mate.
Lord of Destruction.
So it goes to Lord, so Tekken Lord, Supreme, and then Tekken Lord of Destruction.
Since when was Tekken Lord higher than Tekken God? I think those two should be the other way around.
Oh, ranks in Tekken 8, the Lord ranks replaced the God ranks.
Oh.
So it's only in Tekken 8 that you've got Tekken Lords.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
And where's your highest character in these rankings then? Because I can tell you mine is slap bang in the middle.
So mine is the middle of the purples, so Flame Ruler.
Do you know what?
I'm up there.
Whenever I play the game, I'm a bit like, I'm pretty high, and then I see this list and I'm like, I'm just nowhere near high.
You are down there with the plebs, son. Know your place. Know your place. This is why I wanted to reiterate that we are casual players. We do not know what we are doing.
I mean, well, you never know. One day, I have fought a Fujin, I think it is. Yes, which is.
I am very much struggling to get to blue rank. I've been trying for a while to get to blue rank. I am not there yet.
I will again reiterate that I think it's bullshit how I was at the time with Reina. I think it's a destroyer or eliminator, which is very low down, and I pull one of the higher ranks out of nowhere and lose a ridiculous amount of points over this nonsense.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Just get absolutely dominated by a blue rank guy.
Oh, they're just sidestepping you. It's like Eddie's playing Lord. I couldn't keep up. Something was happening. And the next thing you know, I was in hospital. I don't know what happened.
Incredible.
It's a vicious world out there. What can I say?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. We are very much still plebs, I think, in this game.
I think if you're a player, I'm lower than that. I'm a super player.
I think I said this before as well. It's depending on who you talk to. Like the purple or the red ranks are high, but if you talk to someone that's up past blue, then they're like, oh yeah, the red and purple ranks are like nothing, and you're still going to get all that random combo bullshit.
I wonder how many hours they put into the game.
I know, that would be interesting. That would be interesting to know how many hours. Like, well, I could search here. Like, how many hours of Tekken is the top?
Tekken. You have to say Tekken 8 now.
Yeah, how many hours of Tekken does top player play?
Bit of a grammar lesson there.
Does. How many hours? Okay, here we go. Oh no, I can't get on thingy for whatever reason.
I'm just wondering. You've put, what was it, about 400 hours in?
360, I think.
I just wonder if they put the same amount as you in and got better results.
Oh no, 260.
What, that you've put in?
In Tekken 8, yeah.
Okay.
So 260 I'm at. So they have got to be, like pro players, either they've come in at Tekken 8 or they've been in it their entire lives, right? They're going to know combos going back like years and years.
I'd agree with you. There are slight changes through every game. And they also change the, like, I'm not sure what they call it. I think they call this one the tornado system, where if you juggle someone in the air after, like, you hit them and they sort of, their legs fly up. After you do it, I think it's
that up
2 or 3 times, they do like a tornado spin out of it, sort of thing. And that's the end of the combo, so you can't theoretically you shouldn't be able to spam
Yeah,
them.
no,
but
and
I've seen
where
spamming,
all of the knowledge of the wall placements and things start coming into it.
Yeah.
That is the sort of super high level that I'm not even...
We're talking Lord of Destruction level, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, maybe that's what I need to start learning for Blue Rank, you know? Maybe I need to start properly bringing
That's
in
all
the
the
walls
sidestepping.
and
That's what gets
sidestepping is
sidestepping.
another huge thing. I'm okay with sidestepping when I play Yoshi.
Yeah, because you've got
because I've got loads of moves that allow me to sidestep and,
Yeah.
and move and spin and blah.
But they have also cost you a few matches, if I remember correctly.
With the suicides. Yeah, there's definitely been a few Yoshi suicides on my part.
I think some of them, they're not even stabbing yourself. You're just like spitting out of the way, and then it's just like you just lose.
I gotta pay attention to my health a little more, probably. Or just like less panic reactions of stuff that I see on screen.
Yes.
Right, we're coming up at 50 minutes, so we're obviously talking about Tekken already. Actually, you motherfucker, I beat you last time, and I should be named King, and you haven't called me King once this entire 50 minutes.
Weirdly, we've been on about enough Tekken kings and gods.
I know, it completely slipped my mind. I should be King, and you are Jester of this episode.
I thought that was going to be the end of season reward, not the end
No.
of
No, I am King of this episode.
I am sorry, my liege, but it's come and gone. The opportunity was passed.
Oh damn, I can't believe I missed that. But I beat you last time.
You did.
Have you got the video up? We can react to it now.
Your Highness, would I be anything less but prepared?
You are a pleb. Make sure it's muted. We're going to react to it, and he is going to hit play any moment now. Now, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I went with Kuma again on this one.
And I...
You're trying hard with Rainer, aren't you? Have you been practicing her more this week as well?
So I got her into the red ranks.
Yeah.
And I thought she should just hibernate there for a little while.
You're moving on to another character now.
I think she is technically my highest character now because King.
Oh really?
King took a bit of a beating, unfortunately.
No. And with Polar Bear Kuma.
Yes,
looking sick
Polar
in his
Bear
jacket.
Kuma. A bit big for a polar bear, I think.
What do you mean? Polar bears are massive, dude.
Compared to grizzly bears.
No, they're bigger. Polar bears are
really
bigger. Yeah, they are massive. They are unbelievably huge.
I've never actually seen one, so...
No, I don't think you would or should. Oh no, I've seen one in a zoo and it was really depressed and sad, and that's why I hate going to zoos, but...
Was that years ago? That was years ago.
No, that was fairly recent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought because there are certain animals they won't.
No,
touch.
yeah,
But anyway,
it was in Budapest.
The polar bear has just...
We're meant to be reacting to this. This is an episode. This is round 2. I'm one up. It's going glorious for me. Look at these little, like...
Those constant low hits.
They're constant little jabs from me.
That one move, I need to stop doing it. It's painful to watch now. Oh, yeah. I forgot that kick, if you do it again, uses her heat up.
Oh, really?
Bit of a disappointment.
You're up against the wall. You're screwed now.
Bit of a combo in the air.
Bit of a combo when I was way too far away. That's me for me.
But I've learned a lot of Kuma's like punishments now.
You have, I guess.
So it's won't happen again. I can assure you.
That was a nice power move by me then. And then you are eating, bitch. And do I go straight in with a? Oh no, you get me back.
Oh, that's
Oh, now I'm worried. Now I'm too far back. Look, there we go. There we go. That was a nice hit by you.
Getting those uppercuts in.
Yeah, 1-1. Me finishing the combo when I haven't hit confirmed any of those hits.
Yeah, you got to take your shot, haven't you?
And then I'm running away.
Go on a little adventure.
Oh, fuck this! I'm out.
Oh, those low hits every time. I should have picked them up by now, but
we played in the week, I think, right? And you were picking up a lot of these.
I think that was before this. That's the
most really?
Because I really picked up on how to counter all of them.
Yeah, and then you lost it all during the big moment.
I took a shower and washed all that knowledge away.
Another grab. Oh.
See, I
got you. No, another low.
I guess it was.
No, just powered through with a slash.
That's just disappointing, really,
2
isn't
up.
it?
Oh no, 1 up. Sorry, 2 points.
Well, you only need one more win.
Oh, you
there
caught
it is,
that.
there
You got it.
I seen it.
Yeah.
It gets
definitely learning. You've got some brain cells just ticking on for a moment.
That's the problem, is they're just ticking at the
They're
moment.
just ticking.
They need to be doing a bit more than that.
Nice,
Ooh.
nice.
That one
Complete
move, the range is so short on it. It's terrifying, unfortunately.
Huh?
Oh, yes, I
have
can't
gone
believe
for
you
that
fell
attack.
for that.
I got you in the air though. Did I screw you? Yeah, I messed up the combo.
I think it's game
I got
over.
You, there. You tried to react still. Game over. That's a 1-up for me.
Actually, it's 1-1, but we'll...
Yeah, okay, fair.
It's not a 1-up at all.
It's 1-1.
Yes.
What did we say? Was it if we get to 10 in a row, then the season ends? And then what happens then? Do I become Lord?
Well, I spoke about this before, and all of a sudden...
Yeah, you want me to buy you food?
No, you want to be called king after whoever wins. That was going to be the end thing.
Oh, right. No, I thought that was per episode.
And
It's definitely per episode. So this fight that we are about to have, whoever wins, they get called king in the next episode. And we shouldn't forget.
No, you shouldn't. But has either of us written it down? Or
No.
That's the problem, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unprepared.
Very unprepared. But
So
it's 1-1. We're about to go into the next fight.
My question to you is, who are you feeling?
I have played Kuma twice.
You have.
So
you've
I have only shown my Kuma so far.
But I will make sure I call you Lord next week if you agree to this next one.
Oh no.
Random.
Right, okay. I knew you were going to bring this up. I knew you were going to bring this up at a point.
Okay, it's an inevitability. It was going to happen in an episode.
There should be an end of season random character play.
Okay.
Because my reasoning is, if we go random now, I don't think we have enough knowledge of the other characters that it would just be boring to watch, because we don't know what we're doing.
That is true. So you suggest.
So I'm suggesting what we should do, with obviously this podcast going on, we're going to slowly, hopefully, learn more about Tekken as it goes on. Even though I've not played it because I've been playing Monster Hunter and I've been playing Satisfactory, but playing Tekken, playing more Tekken, hopefully we'll learn more characters, and then it would make more sense, and we would get better at the randomization of the end of season stuff. So that end of season fight with the random versus random would show our skills in the most truest form.
I agree. The problem is that we're already thinking about picking our main characters. If that's the case, would it not be suitable to pick a new character that neither of us have played with, perhaps 2 weeks, so 2 matches, and we get used to them? Because obviously there's only so many characters. We'll be going through 2 at a time because you'll choose one.
Well, how about, because I've played Kuma twice already, you can only play a character 3 times in a row max.
So you're going Kuma again then?
No. I'm making it fair. I'm just going to put it up to 3. I'm going to put it up to 3. You cannot go beyond 3 in a row. I'm going to go Yoshi this time though.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
Why?
Because
worse with what? What do you mean?
He is the creme de la creme of your players, of your characters. You are the best with him. That is the problem.
I gotta get my Yoshi out once in a while.
I wouldn't say that in public, but fair enough.
So yeah, I'm going Yoshi this week.
That means I can only go 1 character.
Is that like King?
King. It's going to have to be.
It's going to have to be a King for you.
King, yeah, because he's the only one that really stands a chance against you in Yoshi.
Alright, let's get to it. We shall fight, and the video is about to play for you if you're watching this on YouTube. Enjoy.
See you then.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Even